we go. Javar, what's up, man? It's been too long. NBA pod, we're back. There is so many things to discuss. Holy crap! Like I just said before we started, literally Draymond Green has been suspended and reinstated. The last time we talked, the in-season tournament has came and went. The Lakers, oh my god. We have a lot of things to discuss. So
Right, had a 28 game losing streak in between.
yeah,
It was like they were like they were like in between it by the last time we potted, but yeah.
yeah. It's been a little while, man. So let's get right into it. I think the best place is to start with our Lakers. For anybody that's new out there, thank you for listening. I know that we've gotten a lot of new viewers when I've started the YouTube channel. A lot of people are liking the videos, so I really appreciate it. Um, Javar, woo, where to start? The Lakers are in trouble. We are in some serious trouble right now. We're 2 games under 500. Um, it's so weird because the last time we talked, we were going into the in-season tournament. We ended up winning it. We were playing great. It looked like we were firing on all cylinders. Honestly, I mean, we
They
looked
got
like
up
a
to like
team
the
that
third
couldn't
or
be
fourth
stopped.
seed at some point, right?
Yeah, well, we were a half game behind the third seed at like our best pace. Um, and then I mean, something happened after Vegas, man, where we just completely fell apart. We're what, like 3-10 since the in-season tournament. Darvin Ham is at risk of being fired. LeBron and AD have been mostly healthy through this stretch. D'Angelo Russell has two, so is Austin Reeves. Um, I personally, I don't think we can use injuries as an excuse this time. I think that we've had enough available to win some of these basketball games, but um, what do you think has been our biggest issue in terms of the Los Angeles Lakers and why we're currently in this slump?
Well, I mean, since like the jump, like we've been alarmed at how sluggish our offense has been like all season. Like we're not like everything just looks so hard. Like we can't score. Like it's crazy. Like we don't shoot a lot of threes. We don't make a lot of threes. The wrong people were taking shots. We're just now getting to a point where like okay, we're actually giving the ball to AD more. He's consistently getting his buckets. He's consistently getting his shot attempts. But like it took 20 plus games, almost 30 games for that to take place. Yeah, we're just not playing right, and um, we're not playing the right guys. We just don't look like we are prepared night to night on like what the other team's going to do to us and what we should do to them. We're not running enough plays. Some guys are playing too many minutes. We're not doing shit. And it's just basically you just boil it down to like a lot of bad coaching decisions. Um, I hate to you know wish on a black man's downfall, but Darvin Ham is just he's just not getting it, man. I don't know. He's had enough time to where he's got his some things he's good at. I guess keeping some guys motivated and being loyal to guys, and some of the soft skills. But even like the playoffs, I was alarmed at like how long it took us to make adjustments, how long it took us to call timeouts to stop runs. Just the little micro things.
Hmm.
And now, along with the micro things, we're seeing macro things like what we just talked about earlier. And it's just it's kind of all bad, man. And I don't know. I feel like he's kind of reached the breaking point where I'm not sure if he can recover from this, honestly.
Hmm. It's interesting, man, because obviously what you just said was coaching was our biggest issue, and a lot of Laker fans feel that way. I mean, if we're being honest, like I mean, I would say the overwhelming majority is like rooting for Darvingham to get fired. I mean, as of this recording, we're playing the Clippers tonight, and most of us are expecting it to be a slaughter. Like, we're expecting us to get our fucking culos blasted by 30. We're about to get embarrassed, and then hopefully Darvingham is going to get fired. Like, that's like the overwhelming consensus right now in terms of Lakerland. But I want to point to another thing that may be an issue for us. And look, this could possibly stem from coaching too, but I'm going to bring it up just to get your thoughts on it. We've had guys like Cam Reddish or Christian Wood or Jackson Hayes or Gabe Vincent, guys that we signed that, you know, coming into the season, we expected to get something from them. Um, and I don't think we've gotten really anything from any of those guys except for maybe 2 or 3 weeks from Cam, where he was just great defensively. But I mean, offensively, he's just been a disaster from day one. I mean, And like, I really hate that for Cam because I like Cam Reddish, but it seems like every time he decides to put the ball on the floor, like it's either a turnover or a bad shot. Gabe Vincent, the poor guy, he's played like 2 or 3 games. He's just not healthy. Christian Wood, I mean, if he's not shooting a three, bro, oh my God, like this dude is a
He
dummy.
takes some terrible threes too. I don't know who told him he's Dirk Nowitzki, but we should not be taking step backs off the dribble, bro. When we down by 8 with like 8 minutes to go in the game, like what the hell is going on?
Yeah, Jackson Hayes. I mean,
He can't control his body.
yeah, Jackson Hayes is just wild out there.
No.
Now look, I mean, obviously we still have guys that we had on the roster last year, like Rui Hachimura, Jared Vanderbilt, Austin Reeves, guys like that. But
Rui's
are we
playing like
getting
20
much out of
minutes a
them?
game.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So
Yeah,
I
He
guess
got Austin Reeves coming off the bench. I mean, he just started him again.
the last two
You know,
games, yeah.
and nobody understood why. Okay, it's one thing. Okay, we maybe understood bench separating D'Angelo Russell and Austin Reeves. The defense was not good at all. Like
It
they were
wasn't.
just, it was just porous. Like these people were just scoring at will on those guys. So if you're gonna bring one of them off the bench, okay, Austin's done it before. He's performing pretty well off the bench. And then you bench D'Angelo Russell too. Like that's when I think everybody just lost their shit when that lineup of Cam Reddish, Torian Prince, Vando, LeBron, and AD is
What are we doing?
like what are you supposed to do with that? Yeah, like I think LeBron kind of lost it right there too. Like it feels like ever since kind of that game, he's kind of just hasn't been, just hasn't his fire hasn't been there like night to night. He like the body language is tough. He's kind of just giving ice grills to players and the coaching staff when something go wrong. He's not running back on defense. And I think,
Hmm.
if you lose LeBron, then what does that really mean?
Yeah.
Like, how can you really come back from that? So maybe LeBron mans up because he don't like the reputation of being a coach killer. I think like every other year he getting a coach fired. But I mean, that might just be the cost of business.
Hmm.
I don't know. So what can we do to get out of this?
Yeah,
Is
that's
there
my next
anything
point.
on the roster, anything we can do game plan wise? Because again, this is the team that won the in-season championships. Mostly the same team that went to Western Conference Finals last year made that run. I mean, without Dennis Schroeder and Malik Beasley
Hmm.
and Troy Brown Jr. and some guys that didn't play. But
Lonnie Walker.
yeah, well, he had a big game for us, but for the most part, he didn't do much either in the playoffs or in that
Hmm.
run to
Hmm.
make it to the play-in. So is that salvageable? Is there something we could do? Is something Ham could do to rally the troops, or are we just waiting on a trade or a firing?
Man, it's I I don't know. Like in my heart, I feel like the guys that we have on paper, I feel like this team can make a run. Like this team is still good enough if we have a new leader. I think this team is still good enough to make a run, but maybe I'm just fooling myself, man. Like maybe the reality is that these guys are just not that good. And it seems like defenses are just attacking offenses are just attacking Austin Reeves, like they're signaling him out. The same thing with D'Lo. I mean, even in games where like LeBron, AD, and Austin Reeves are playing great, we're losing by double digits. Like we're
Yeah.
we're getting destroyed out there.
Our best
Um,
players aren't like creating separation, like you said,
yeah.
in the score, like the spread of net rating, whatever you want to call it. It's the plus minus is not great with our best players. D'Lo, I mean, sorry, AD, Bron, Austin Reeves, even AD and Bron aren't leaving like a plus right now. We don't have any great lineups. It's kind of like, I don't know. That just means to me we got to throw out everything we've been doing and we got to like start from scratch. And it's tough to do. We don't, that's another thing with the more veteran team, led by LeBron and pretty much more or less LeBron. We don't practice. So how do
Yeah.
you like really like get better or implement new things? If you have a new idea for a lineup or a new sets you want to run, how do you really do that? I mean, you have to kind of just do walk arounds and shoot arounds, but not really practicing it. So it's tough, man. I don't know. That's even like with the new coach. Are they going to be able to come in and right the ship with our constraints of not being able to practice much because 21, I mean, year 21, 39-year-old LeBron, I mean, he's got to get rest somewhere. And if he's not
Mhm.
practicing, what are you really doing in practice? If you practice with him sitting on the sidelines, like if he's like one of your main guys. So I don't know, man. I've been thinking about it. And unless the players just figured out, we might just, the season might already be lost. Or maybe a big trade that's just completely changing our team. But
Mm-hmm.
I'm kind of down on what the Lakers are doing right now, because if you look at the schedule, it's not going to get any easier.
Mm-hmm.
This month is supposed to be one of the easier months on the schedule because it's a lot of home games, but the teams we're playing are not easy. Like
Yeah,
the Grizzlies was supposed to be one of the easy games. They lost it.
by double digits. Man,
So
I think I don't know. I mean, like, can we make a run if we get a DeJounte Murray and a Clint Capella, or a Jared Allen, and a shooter from Cleveland, or I don't know, Pascal Siakam. I mean, like, there's every guy that's on the trade block is linked to the Lakers. So, like, can any of those guys conceivably help us win a championship? Because, I mean, first of all, for anybody that doesn't know, we don't give a damn about making the playoffs. We don't give a damn about making the second round. Like, it's championship or bust for the Lakers every time. So if none of those moves can guarantee us at least a run at the title, I don't think we should do it. But if that move, and this is just me speaking, if it's DeJounte Murray, Clint Capella for Austin Reeves and whoever else, we need to make the move. That's just my opinion. Like, I love Austin Reeves. Obviously, I'm not as high on him as some Laker fans, but DeJounte Murray is better. I'm sorry, he's better, and we could use a Clint Capella to mesh with AD. So I would make
what's
that move. What do you think?
what's Murray's contract like? I thought it expires like next year or something like that. Let me see.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I'm not sure
I
DeJounte
mean,
Murray.
the thing about Austin Reeves, I mean, you could say whether somebody's better or not, but it's that contract, man. Like for what we're paying him for 4 more years, like that's one of the best contracts in the league. So I'm kind of reluctant to give that up, because to build a good team, you got to have good value contracts. You got to have guys like that too. He's not meant to be your. He's not supposed to be your third best player. He's supposed to be like your fourth or fifth. So
Well, I understand that, but how many years left of LeBron do we have? So do
we
we do
have
we
4 more months of LeBron. He's a free agent after this year. So that's
right?
another reason I don't feel like going all in, because what is that going to get us? Like, okay, getting us to the second round with DeJounte Murray and Clint Capella. Like, I don't know if
We can't win a championship with LeBron, AD, Murray, Clint Capella, and whoever else filling in. I mean,
Clint Capella is not what we thought he was. Right? He's kind of getting older. I don't. Is he even starting with the Hawks these days? And
he
then
is, but he
DeJounte
plays like
Murray.
25 minutes a night. Yeah.
Okay, well, okay, it's just so DeJounte, like his contract expires like this. She's about to be a free agent after this year, if I'm looking at this right. So that's kind of tough.
Mm.
Unless he's a clutch client, so maybe he want to be here. Give him a contract extension or something. You know
that
how what you call work.
get that under the table money going.
Right.
Yeah.
Man,
But
I mean, that okay. I probably pull the trigger at this point, because where we are, we can't just keep deteriorating like this. So yeah, I guess it would hurt. I would hurt. At least Austin Reeves would be in Atlanta, but I feel like that would be a good trade for the Hawks too. Honestly, like it'd probably slot him right better with trade. Their defense would be rough, but it's kind of they need an actual two guard there. But I mean, are the Hawks kind of like? First of all, do you think that's enough for the Hawks actually? Like to give up DeJounte Murray and a
Murray.
Clint Capella just for? I mean, what else? Well, we probably have to be Austin Reeves and Rui, and probably another contract.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know, man. Um, I guess we got to do something.
We
So you think
do.
DeJounte's the guy? You don't like Zach Levine? I feel like if we could trade less for Levine, because nobody wants him. It's just his contract is very big
I
and
was about to
many
say
years
his
left.
contract is way worse. I think Levine would slot nicely to the team that we have, but I don't know.
Because they might
I
just be
mean,
like, okay, give us D'Lo, and that's basically an expiring. Or if he want to keep his player option and come back next season, whatever, it's just 1 more year. But that might be appealing to them, because they were playing pretty well without Levine.
hmm and Kobe White was really stepping up. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, I would welcome it. Yeah, I mean, I just don't know how likely it is. But I mean, look, it's like you said, something has to be done. One thing I do want to discuss before we move on from the Lakers is Darvin Ham's comments after last night's game, where he's basically pissed off that everybody's overreacting to losses. It's a marathon, not a sprint. Um,
He,
those
he
comments
he
really
came
rubbed me
to
the
the
wrong
wrong
way.
team. He came to the
Yeah.
wrong team. This is, if you know anything about the Lakers, or the fans are passionate, like very loud, and we love our team. So I don't know. I mean, why
First
why
of
would you
all,
want somebody to not give a damn? Like, I don't understand.
we are almost halfway through the season, bro. We are 2 games under 500. We
Right.
were the number 4 seed at 14 and
And
9,
we're losing the
almost number three
marathon.
seed, and we are
Right.
losing the fucking marathon. Exactly.
Right.
Like, when are we supposed to give a damn, Darvingham? Yeah. He can get the fuck out of here. That killed me last night when I read that. I was like, you nigga. Um, let's move on. Let's talk about the Golden State Warriors, who are also struggling right now. Um, like we discussed, right before we did our last pod, or right after we did our last pod,
Oh yeah,
Draymond
congrats to the
Green.
Lakers on winning the in-season championship. Got the 18th banner. We didn't even mention that. Oh yeah. Woo-hoo-hoo.
Well, anyway, Draymond Green punches Yusuf Nurkic and gets suspended for an undisclosed amount of time.
That was an
Uh,
accident.
yeah, sure. Draymond is absolutely nuts. We've got Jonathan Kuminga openly calling out the coach, Steve Kerr. We've got Moses Moody doing the same thing. Klay Thompson's been up and down.
Actually,
Chris
Moses
Paul just
Moody
broke
didn't
his
openly
hand.
call out he said the people around Moses Moody are not
Yeah,
happy with
yeah,
his
okay.
playtime.
Yeah, same thing. The Warriors are in trouble. Um, is the dynasty over? I mean, Draymond will be back shortly, but they do not look good on night out to night out anymore. And it's to the point where like Steph can't save them anymore. Like Steph can drop 30 and they'll still lose. I mean, I mean, Draymond's not there. He is a big piece to what they do. But what do you think from that standpoint of the Golden State Warriors, and you know, is it over for them? Did Draymond ruin a dynasty with that punch to Jordan Poole?
Um, I mean, Jordan Poole is looking like absolute shit right now. If you pay any attention to the Wizards, I mean, I think he just had two
Which I
points
am.
the other night. Okay,
Which I
so
am.
I'm not sure if Jordan Poole is some
Well,
kind of bastion for anything there.
he's just unmotivated in Washington. He just doesn't give a damn. He got his ring. He got his money. He doesn't care.
I think their problem is still like they did not draft well for what they needed, and they're just still they're hurting from that. Um, when you have a team with such a high salary, you have to hit on those draft picks because those are lower salary players that are supposed to contribute.
Yep.
For a while, they were doing pretty good at that with the McCalls and the Loonies. Even Jordan Poole, I think, was either a late first round or early second round pick. But they Wiseman was a complete bust. I mean, I was wrong on that one. I thought with his talent, from what I saw, that he was going to be a helpful player for them and a star at one point. But I didn't watch college, and he only played like 5 or 6 games, and man, it shows. I mean, that just kind of, I don't know if that was the reason his whole thing got ruined or what, but he is absolute trash even on the Pistons too. Um, and then Kaminga, I think Kaminga's got some talent, but if they got Wiggins right there, they're kind of like similar players. And Kaminga's finally getting his minutes, getting his shine. But he's also young and he wants to take shots. He's not trying to do these dribble handoffs and set all these screens for Steph. He's trying to get his numbers, and so he get his money.
Yep.
Moody, he just wants to play. Moody actually would do whatever Kerr wants him to do. He's kind of like a Warriors type of player, but they've already got too many guards. The problem I think has really been their veterans, man. Steph's still having a great season, but Clay, was pretty bad for most of the year. He had a good stretch where he was kind of came back for like a few weeks and was shooting well, but now he's kind of just off and on.
Mm-hmm.
I think he's kind of realizing that he might not get back to that level, the All-Star level again. So he's, maybe better for him, or he's okay with less minutes or somebody's outplaying him or whatever. At least he seems like he's vocalizing that. Of course, the issues with Draymond, he's been in and out the lineup with injuries and suspensions. Looney fell off a cliff a little bit. They're actually finding some good minutes from some young guys they did find, like Dale Davis' son, Trace Jackson Davis, I think his name is,
Mm-hmm.
and this rookie they just drafted,
Budzinski.
Budzinski, I cannot say that name, Pods, nice little hustle guard.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know, I think a lot of people are burying them,
Yeah.
but if they were to somehow get Pascal Siakam, or even just any, there's some players out there. If they could get some veterans that kind of fit into what they do, maybe a Jeremy Grant or something like that. I don't know. They just I think that's what they need, more of like a 4-5, 3-4-5, like some guys with some size and athleticism.
Mm.
Um, I think they just get the right guys who are all in on the team. I think they can make a run. I think people are burying them, but they could be really dangerous in the playoffs if they get in there.
So as presently constructed, I don't really believe in this team as presently constructed.
I agree. That's what I kind of feel like they're
Mhm.
going to make a move. They need to make a move. Like
Yeah,
they're kind of on the similar with the Lakers, where they need.
yeah.
Actually, it's more apparent for them because they have too many guys. Too many guys are also just not able to play because they got two guys like Wiggins and Kaminga, Moody and Podge, and blah blah blah. They got to do something. So
Yeah. I think the biggest issue for the Warriors now is that Chris Paul just broke his hand, so he's going to be out for 4 to 6 weeks. He was like the main trade bait for a lot of a lot of deals from what I saw. So I'm not sure if a team is going to be willing to pull the trigger now that they're not going to get him until after the All-Star break. It looks like, but maybe they will. I don't know. I mean, if it's because I'm pretty sure Chris Paul's on the last year of his deal. I'm pretty sure
yes,
he's expiring. So
and
the
I would
team
look at
would want
CP.
that.
I would look at him almost like, you know what, that's good. Go ahead and take a rest for a few months and basically just hopefully you able to play in the playoffs and have your legs by then. Kind of just
Hmm.
want him to, because his problem, he always falls off and gets hurt in the playoffs. So it's like
Hmm.
you don't really need him for the regular season for someone at his age and where he's at in his career. Let him just
Yeah.
kind of be Rondo status for the Lakers. Like that's kind of what you want.
Yeah, yeah. I like that idea. Yeah, yeah. I mean, look, it'd be interesting, man. First of all, yeah, as presently constructed, I do think the Warriors are cooked. But if they can get a Pascal Siakam, and Zach LaVine, or whomever is out there, um, then yeah, they'll be absolutely dangerous. I mean, they might fuck around and win the championship again. We'll see. I mean, because Steph Curry and Klay Thompson, you can say what you want about Klay. Leave him open in the playoff. Please do it. He's gonna burn you eventually. And
Well,
is
he
he?
was trash, and but I said he was pretty bad in that Lakers series. We left him open a few times, and he couldn't do nothing. Not
Yeah,
completely
that's true.
open, but there's been times with the little bit of daylight that we gave him, he would hit those shots, and I was just like, man, Clay is not what he used to be. I was happy about it, but yeah,
Can that happen
but
two
yeah,
years in
I
a row
agree. I
though?
think
I don't know.
um
I don't know. I don't. I mean, do you want to take that chance? I guess. Like, do
no,
you?
no. For me, it's always been Steph and Draymond. Those are the guys that I bet on. If they're healthy and playing like they should be, and they got some support, because when they won the championship, Clay was not that good. It was really he was really inconsistent. Jordan Poole was inconsistent. They was basically between them. They was able to find a second scorer in Wiggins, or sorry, a third scorer, because Wiggins was actually the second scorer. He was the one consistent. So I think Steph just needs a little bit of help. Just Draymond and Steve Kerr and them, they're going to figure out a defensive configuration, but offensively is where it gets a little tricky. I think the league is just caught up to what the Warriors do, and they kind of know, especially with Clay not being the threat that he used to be. Well, the effective threat that he used to be. But at the same time, when it comes down to it, nut cutting time. I mean, look at the teams that are say doing so well in the West. Are you really that scared of the Thunder in the playoffs? Are you really that scared of the Kings? Or it's really just the Nuggets. I think even the T Wolves, might be a little vulnerable in the playoffs. I don't know.
uh, so okay.
I don't know. Cat turns into a pumpkin in the playoffs. I'm sorry, but
Yeah, but it ain't Cat's team no more, dog. Anthony Edwards is a star, and I'm so glad that you brought up the Minnesota Timberwolves because I wanted to discuss. Man, they are number one seed in the East. What are they?
West.
25 and sorry, yeah, in the West, 25-9. Um, Anthony Edwards is a dog, man. I mean, we both have talked about how much we like Anthony Edwards and his game, his attitude.
Two
Um,
way.
he's a two-way guy. Yeah, he's just a dog, man. I love Ant. And I think the biggest difference between this season and last season, where I thought that they would be this good last year, I think this year it's just that Anthony Edwards is taking that leap, man. Like from 21 points a game to like 28 points a game. Like that's a big leap.
Yeah.
And he's out there dominating every single night now. He's looking like one of the best players in the league, which a lot of people knew that he could be. But um, if now you have that pecking order of Anthony Edwards is number one, Karl Anthony Towns is number two, Rudy Gobert number three, and everybody else just fill in with guys like Nas Reed, Mike Conley. What's their wing guy?
Jaden McDaniels.
Jaden McDaniels. They still have Kyle Anderson, slow mo. I like this team. Now, am I
They're so big
afraid
too.
of
They
them?
got a lot of bigger bigger guys, wings. Like,
well, yeah, I mean this team is assembled for one reason and one reason only, and that's for the Denver Nuggets. Which, hey, look, knock them off. Please knock them off if you can. But I do think that they have to show me in the playoffs that they do, but I would not be happy to be matched up with the Minnesota Timberwolves in the first round. That's all I'll
oh
say.
yeah, I get. I'm just saying, like, I feel like they're not unbeatable. Is what I'm trying to say. Yeah.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah.
but they're also not like, I would say they're like, yeah, like how the Kings were last year. It's like, oh yeah, I want to match up with the Kings, or I want to match up with the Grizzlies. I don't think it's like that, but it's just like when it comes to nut cutting time, even if the Lakers are somehow to squeeze in and match up with the T-Wolves, I feel like we might have a chance. Is what I'm trying to say.
Mm.
But
Maybe I don't know. I
but
mean,
I you know,
as personally constructed, I don't know.
yeah, I agree. I'm saying if they were able to get it together. Um, yeah, I agree with you 100% about everything. Also, they figured out how to get the best out of Rudy
Mm,
Gobert. Like not only offensively, but even like defensively, he wasn't really as effective as we thought he would be last year. But now he's back to being that, probably the front runner for defensive player of the year. It looks like we're where they are record wise too.
mhm.
So yeah, I think he's a monster down there, the Stifle Tower, and then de-emphasizing Cat a little bit. Nas Reed almost kind of does similar things. I'm only
Mm.
surprised if they do flame out and Cat has a bad playoffs like he historically does. I won't be surprised if they trade his ass, but I don't think they need to rush into that.
Mm.
And man, like I'm just hurting over the Conley situation because the Lakers could have had Conley. Instead, they wanted D'Angelo Russell. Because at the time, Conley was a little injury prone.
Mm.
Man, imagine if we had Conley right now instead of him. Just more steady or like offensive steadiness again. So,
Yeah.
but alas, well, it is what it is.
Let's talk about the Oklahoma City Thunder, the number 2 seed in the West. They're currently 23-11. We talked about Shea Gilgeous-Alexander in the last pod. I mean, he's even better now. Like he was averaging 30. Now he's averaging like 32 a game. Like he's still incredible. MVP front
His
runner in my
game
opinion.
is so smooth, man. He kind of reminds me of some Kobe type moves. Like he's out there, just really working in the mid range, just trying to get to the basket. He don't shoot a lot of threes, but he can.
Mhm. Yeah. And I think with the emergence of J Dub, Jalen Williams, I think, man, I'm really high on this kid, man. Like I'm pretty sure he's gonna be an all-star one day. And then of
Who
course
would you say
Chet
his game is
Holmgren,
like?
who J Dub.
Yeah,
I don't know. Maybe kind of like a mix of like a T Mac and a I don't know. I'm trying to figure out somebody that has like a good handle because like that's pretty much what he does for OKC. He has like a really good handle, a really good drive. His jumper needs work, but you can tell he has the mechanics and it's there. Um, so yeah, I would kind of say like a T Mac, honestly. Like
oh
if
man. Oh God.
yeah, oh man, yeah.
Oh boy.
Yeah, like if this kid ever gets it, it's gonna be tough, man. Because I think he's a star. Honestly, I think he's really good. So
Seems that way. It seems like they got a kind of a big three
mhm,
bubbling up there. All these motherfuckers shoot good from the 3-point line too. It's crazy.
yeah.
Almost the whole team, like the whole rotation, shooting 40% from three or down there. Like, man, they're tough. And then, I mean, what can you say about Chet, man? It's almost like
He's a
everything
beast.
we talking about Wimby gonna do, is like Chet gonna do. He gonna make the All Star team, defensive team, maybe probably not All NBA, but I get some votes.
I mean, look, man, I've been high on Chet since I saw him in Gonzaga. I was like, man, like this.
You have been actually. You have been.
I was like, I don't get what you guys don't get. Like this kid is special. Like this dude is
I just
7'1",
didn't watch
can
him.
do everything. And I was like, unless basically the only reason I thought that he could snatch Rookie of the Year away from Wimby is if it's just a situation like this where the Spurs just suck and Wimby's on a minutes restriction right now, which is just I hate Greg Popovich for that. Um, and he's only
He's
playing
not
24
having a good
minutes a
coaching
game.
season.
He really
That's
isn't,
what.
in my opinion. He really isn't. But
Yeah.
he's Greg Popovich, so he's gonna be able to get away with it. So whatever. But yeah, man, Chet is just like he's amazing from three. I mean, right away he came in as like an elite shot protector or
Rim
rim
protector.
protector. He's like smart and like he makes really good passes. I love watching Chet, man. Like I'm a fan of this guy, and I'm a fan of OKC, man. Now, do I think they're for real? They're so young, man. I don't think any team has just like exploded onto the scene like this and just won their first year in the playoffs, because this year is going to be their first year. I mean, I don't know if wait, did they make it last year? No, they didn't.
No,
They were fighting for the play, but they didn't make it.
just right out the play in, yeah. Or
Yeah.
they might
So
have lost the play in to Minnesota or something like that. I can't remember, but
okay. Yeah. So I mean, this year is going to be basically their first year in the postseason. So it's going to be an experience for them, especially even if they're facing a team like the freaking Lakers in the seventh. We're the seventh seed, God forbid, or like a team like SAC or the Warriors. Like if they're facing a veteran team in the first round, I think it's going to be a real problem for them. But I mean, as of right now, they're great. What do you think? Go ahead.
Shea's made the playoffs with the Clippers and when Chris Paul was with OKC that one year. So he's got a little experience. They got a couple like Lou Dort, I think, was on that team too. So they got a couple guys with a little experience. But yeah, I generally agree with you. I mean, and they're humble about how they're going about it. They're not trying to say like, like they're the new shit on the block. Like they're just kind of like, hey, we're just working and we'll see what happens. So keep that mindset. Just for their fans, just be happy with the process, man. Because yeah, they're kind of reminding me of the KD and Russ and Harden Thunder, how they were developing. I think they'd be happy to win around. I think that'd be good progress for them. Everything else after that is gravy. So everybody's excited about the Thunder, and we know they have like what 30, 40 draft picks over the next like 5 to 10 years, something. So it feels like they're a prime candidate to make a big trade. But should they do it right now, or should they just kind of let it grow, let it breathe, or you think they should pull the trigger or something?
That is so tough, man. I honestly don't think that they. I mean, unless they can get somebody to slot in that 2 or 4 spot like perfectly, I don't think they should, honestly. And then again, do you want Lou Dort off the court when he brings so much defensively? I don't think you do. Like I think you need that. Do you want to
Isn't
take?
Giddey still starting?
Yeah, he starts. Yeah, it's Giddy, Dort, J Dub, Shea, and Chet. So I mean, sure, like you could replace Giddy, but I think Giddy is good too. Like I think he brings a lot to their team in terms of playmaking. And he's just a big body, just a different option to
Yeah.
run stuff through. So I don't know. I mean, but like if a Jeremy Grant is available, yeah. I mean, and like you don't have to give up, one of those 3 core guys. I mean, I think you kind of got to do it.
So you think they should be looking more like for impact role players or more like a star?
No. I think they need like that Horace Grant, like that really good role player, like really good, solid. I know my role. I'm gonna knock down shots. I'm gonna play the right defense
What
type
about like a
guy.
Bobby Portis or something?
Ew.
Is that not enough?
I don't think so. But I'm not that high on like a Bobby Portis. That's just me. But
About like a John Collins?
hell no. John Collins sucks. I'm sorry. John
Laurie
Collins is
Markkinen,
bad. Oh,
too
okay.
good,
Well, yeah.
too
Laurie
good.
Markkinen is too good. Yeah. Um, First of all, if Utah does trade Laurie Markkinen to the Warriors, we're in trouble. Like we are in trouble. Like I hope that does not happen. Like really, like I really hope that doesn't happen. But yeah. But yeah, I mean, look, I think with all of the capital that they have in terms of picks and good young players, if I mean maybe not this year, so you can see what you have, but in
Yeah.
the next year, I think you should absolutely pull the trigger on something if you can, because you've got all these freaking picks. I mean, what are you holding on to them for? My opinion. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean they got time. There's no need to rush it. Like you said, see
Let's
what they
talk.
got.
Let's talk about the LA Clippers, man. The other team in LA that are looking just way better than us. They lost their first 6 with James Harden, and since then, I think they've lost 2 games in the past 20 games or something like that. Like they're out there just dominating teams, looking as good as promised. James Harden's playing great, and I honestly I think that he has like another level that he can get to. Paul George and Kawhi, when they're out there, which have been for most of the games, I'm going to give them credit. They've been playing most games. They've looked dominant too. Even Russell Westbrook, man. Shout out to Russ, man, because you know, coming into the season, you're expecting to start and get a certain amount of minutes. They make this move for James Harden. Immediately, you go to the bench. You're not playing fourth quarters, and you're getting like 18, 20 minutes a night, and you're still trying to be a team player. You're still trying to be impactful, and I think that's exactly what Russell Westbrook has been doing. So shout out to Russ. He's in a way better situation now, so I'm happy for him. But what have you seen from the Clippers? And I mean, are they for real? I think this might be one of the best teams in the West.
Yeah, I think the last time we talked, they were, they were in the midst of the 0-6 or in a bad shape. But when we talked, we were like, well, we expect them to figure this out because it's too much talent. There's too much offensive talent for them to just be languishing like they were. So I'm not really that surprised. When they made the move, I was like, well, on paper, this seems like it should make sense once they figure it out. Like Harden, like they've been needing a point guard for like since the whole Kawhi and Paul George era, really. That's been like the main thing they've been missing. I mean, trying to cycle Reggie Jackson, Pat Beverly, all these different guys through John Wall, Russell Westbrook. So James Harden, I mean, it's kind of a perfect situation. Like when it's nut cutting time too, they got Kawhi, who has been amazing. So you don't got to worry about Harden choking, when you need him, because really just pass the ball, dude. Like you don't really need to do nothing. So he's found a good synergy with Zubats. Like it's just like a perfect like alley-oop partner for him. I won't say perfect, but like they've really found a good thing alley-oop and pick and rolls. And yeah, it's just tough, man. Ty Lue is a fantastic coach, so it's another thing. You figure he's going to figure something out.
Yeah.
I'm surprised their defense is as good as it is.
Why?
And I don't know. I thought Harding would be kind of like a point of attack liability, and earlier in the season it didn't seem like Kawhi still had that defensive gear. Like maybe he was still working his way back from his I think his knee surgery from off season. But he's looked fully back now, and just their schemes. I mean, yeah. So also Westbrook is like really defending like really well for doing. He's only playing like 15, 20 minutes off the bench, but he's playing with high energy, doing exactly what they need, hustling. I don't know, man. I kind of feel like when I look at the West, they might be the guy, the team, just like the Nuggets. And then I kind of, if I was the Nuggets, I'd be looking at the Clippers as like the big team to keep an eye on.
Yep.
I feel like this might be the year they finally, if they're healthy in the playoffs and can stay healthy. That's really been the main reason why they haven't been able to win, other than when Denver beat them in the bubble. Every year after that, somebody's been hurt in the playoffs. So I'm not a Clippers fan, but if the Lakers can't win, for the good of the game, I'm actually am a Kawhi fan, because his game is just so buttery. He's kind of another guy that is a Kobe acolyte, looks kind of like him out there in the court, like a Kobe or a Jordan out there. So I love his game, and I wouldn't be mad at it if they made a run.
Bro, imagine if Kawhi won another Finals MVP for another team. I mean, we're gonna have to start talking about all time again, like, especially in terms of his position. Like, I mean, obviously you've got Bron, Bird, KD, but is Kawhi right there? Like I mean, come on, I don't know.
When he's healthy, I mean, might be, yeah.
Yeah.
He's kind of got such a weird career because I don't think he has any regular season awards, right?
No, he doesn't. You mean in terms of like MVP or?
Yeah, MVP. He might have a Defensive Player of the Year, but not sure.
Yeah,
I think he did with the Spurs, right?
Yeah, he got it with the Spurs. I mean, I'm sure he's got All NBA, All Stars, and stuff like that.
Yeah, definitely that. Yeah.
But you just mean like individual awards, yeah.
Yeah. It's kind of like, how do you really contextualize his legacy? I don't know, but
yeah, because I mean, Bird had what 3 straight MVPs.
3 straight MVPs, 3 championships, and he only played 12 years. It's kind of crazy.
That is nuts. Yeah, okay.
Same with Magic, by the way. Magic had 3 MVPs, 5 championships. No, 5 championships, 3 MVPs.
Yeah, you're right.
And he only played like 12 years.
Crazy. Niggas is too drunk back then to play more than 10 years. Or barely 10 years.
Magic, it was not the alcohol, it was the women or whatever that got him jammed up. HIV.
Yeah.
And Bird, it was alcohol and Just they wasn't on recovery and stuff back then. They just after the games go drink a beer and go go work on in the farm or something. It's like, bro, you need to rest. Now his back gave out on him. But yeah.
Yeah.
I would just say, yeah, Clippers are big time, man.
Let's talk about the Phoenix Suns.
One more thing.
Oh, go ahead.
What if the Lakers traded for Harden? I know we really didn't want that shit to happen, but look, like hindsight, like goddamn, like maybe we should have did it.
I mean,
if we could have. I mean, I know we were waiting until guys were trade eligible, but
yeah. I mean, shit. Yeah, I mean that would have been cool, I guess. If we would have got this version of James Harden, like who knows what version he would have been in a Lakers jersey when the lights are bright, and we actually need you. So I don't know. I mean, I don't know. It would have been a totally different situation because with the Clippers, he's got Paul George and Kawhi, whereas we've got old man LeBron and AD. So it's a little different, in my opinion. A little different. The Phoenix Suns, man, they talk about a team that can't stay healthy. Holy shit. I think the big three has played like 3 games together, and we're like 40 games into the season almost.
Definitely less than 5, yeah.
I mean, even now, even now as we speak, like Bradley Beal is finally back, but Kevin Durant is out with some knee soreness or whatever they're putting on the injury report, hamstring. I think that this team is in trouble, man. I mean, they're not in any more trouble than like we thought. Like it's for the same reasons, in my opinion. Like coming into the season, I was like, okay, this team has a really good 3 players, but they don't have much else.
And 2 of those players are very injury prone, in Bill and KD.
Yeah, I think Yusuf Nurkic has been really good for them, honestly. But other than that, they've gotten basically nothing from anyone. I mean, if we're talking Eric Gordon, Bobo, Bobo doesn't even play. But like they just Josh Okogie, they've got a real problem in terms of depth. And I feel like people are just ignoring it when it comes to the Suns because they're just like, oh, it's still KD and Booker. Wait till they get to the playoffs. Been healthy. I'm just like, wait, bro, like, are they going to make the playoffs? Like these dudes are not that good, man. That's just my opinion. But
wouldn't it be crazy if it's the Lakers, Suns, and Warriors all in the play-in?
That'd be so annoying.
KD, LeBron, and Steph in the play-ins. Like, man, what? It's the old guard is falling off.
Yeah,
real.
It's over for us. Like, yeah, it's these young cats' time now for sure. Because man, yeah, man.
I don't really have much comments on that other than that's kind of what we thought.
It is.
It's kind of Suns fans are not loving Frank Vogel right now. It's kind of like, damn.
Really?
But he's kind of dealt with a tough hand. Yeah. They don't love the offense or the defense, and he's kind of just struggling with the rotation, trying to find guys who play right together. But their team, the roster's not that great. I mean, they wouldn't be much better off holding on to Chris Paul either, though. But I just don't think the Bill move was a smart move. And then I'm kind of shrugging my shoulders at trading DeAndre Ayton for Nurkic and them. But
yeah. Well, I think they had to do something. I don't think KD liked DeAndre Ayton. Like
that's kind of what it boiled down to, I think.
Okay, yeah. I don't think he liked that nigga because he was definitely looking at him sideways last year, and in the postseason. Last team in the West, John Morant, man, the Grizzlies, bang, bang, bang. No, I'm just kidding. That's not funny. That's not funny. John Morant, he's back. First game back, man. He dropped a 30-point, damn near triple-double game winner. He looked like he barely missed any time. He was in great shape. His jumper wasn't really falling, and it still really isn't until he played the Lakers, of course. But I mean, man, like Ja looks great. This team, and you know what? Let me give Desmond Bane some flowers because he has been trying his hardest to hold this team together for 25 games without their best player. He's quietly averaging like 25, 6 and 6 on really good efficiency, and he's trying to do everything for that team when Ja was out. So I wouldn't be mad if Desmond Bane makes the All-Star team. That's just my opinion. But yeah, now that Ja's back, this team is like 3 games out of the 10th spot. They're probably going to make the play-in.
It's 11 teams fighting for 10 spots in the West.
Yeah. Somebody ain't gonna make it. Somebody is not gonna make it, which is
real quick
interesting.
So I don't really have many comments on the Grizzlies just because Yeah, it's good for Ja to get back. You know, stay out of trouble, bro. Like the game needs you.
Yeah.
America, you Team USA needs you. America needs you. Like we need good American young players. Stop acting up. All the best players are Euros. It's like that's kind of awkward. But yeah, I don't really have much to say. We'll see if they can make a run. I thought Ja missing 25 games was going to bury them, but you know the fact is with the play-in, it seems like you're never out of it in the
Hmm.
NBA now with the play-in until like the last month of the season.
Yeah.
Real quick, at what point are we gonna say like are we gonna look up at Luca and be like, damn, you've been in the league 5-6 years and ain't did shit yet? Like, when are the Mavericks gonna really get some pressure? Or Luca, you know, maybe we should start putting some pressure on Luca to put pressure on this team to start winning something because they're kind of just okay. You know, at least they're not bottoming out like they were last year, but you know, it's still kind of just the Luca show.
Hmm. I mean, look, man. He's what? I think he's made like 4 first-team All NBAs in his first 5 seasons, which is ridiculous. So like individually, even this year, I think he's averaging like close to like
30 something.
35. Like
Yeah,
bro, like he is cooking this year. But
and great percentages too.
yeah, but it's like you said, like nobody thinks that this team even has like a remote shot of winning anything this year. So maybe they make a trade. I mean, I don't know. I don't know. But yeah, I mean, like to answer your question, I do think it's probably about that time where we're just like, okay, like it's great that you're doing these things in a regular season, but when it all comes down to it, like are you just gonna keep racking up these first team All NBAs and just hope that 10 of those is enough to stamp your legacy, or are you just gonna force your way out of Dallas or what? Um, I don't know, man. Something has to give because you know Mark Cuban historically
He sold
is
out.
aggressive. Yeah, but he did, yeah. Well, he's still president of basketball operations, quote unquote. He still
Yeah, I would
maintains the
say
basketball
until
responsibilities,
he gets
quote
fired.
unquote.
Yeah.
Yeah, until he gets fired. Yeah. Yeah, that title doesn't mean shit. He sold them for what, like 4 billion or
Three
something?
and a half billion, something
Three
like
and a
that.
half
3.5,
billion?
4
Yeah.
billion.
So
Yeah.
he bought that team for $200 million. So shout out to Mark Cuban, man.
It's
That
good
is a come
business.
up. That is a come
Yeah.
up.
That's not as good as MJ. I think he bought the team for like less than 200 million, sold it for like 4 or 5.
Oh wow. So
And okay, one last thing. Are you where are you at on Zion? Is he going to be on that level of like an MVP, All NBA first team type player, or is he just going to be, you know, an All Star good player, and you know, we're not going to talk about him like that?
man, this season has really kind of opened my eyes with Zion Williamson, and it's unfortunate because I've been a really big fan. Like I pretty much watched every Pelicans game last year and this year. Um, but this year, because I have him on my fantasy team, I'm just noticing that he's just. I mean,
You think he
he's
want to be there?
good, but yeah, maybe he needs that new situation already, which is crazy. Like this dude's been in the league for like 4 or 5 years, and we're already talking about, oh, like maybe he needs to be traded, or maybe he need like, I don't know, man.
We've been saying this for years.
Yeah, but it's just unfortunate because I really do feel like with this team that they have, C.J. McCollum, Brandon Ingram, uh,
Herb
Herb Jones,
Jones,
Trey
Trey,
Murphy,
yeah.
Valanciunas, like I think that Jose Alvarado, like I think that this is a good team. I think that they could possibly make the first or second round. And if Zion's playing to his potential, they could make the Western Conference Finals. Like that wouldn't be crazy to me if that were to happen if Zion was playing to his potential. But it just doesn't seem like this year he really has. Like I don't know.
And they've got a good
Uh,
coach.
yeah, and I really like Willie Green. I agree with that. I think he's a really good motivator. I think he runs great schemes. And he has all these guys bought in, and I think that they believe in him. But this team's only going to go as far as Zion takes them, and I don't think that that's going to be very far with what I've seen from him this year. Um, and I'm not even talking about like the points per game. Like I'm just talking about his attitude on the floor, his motor. Like everything is just down this year. Uh, Now he was dealing with some off-court issues with the what's the girl's name? Mariah Mills thing
Mills,
early
yeah.
this year. So maybe that is just. I mean, he's a new father. It's like maybe he's dealing with personal stuff. I don't know,
Is he? I didn't.
but
Oh, yeah, that's right. Yeah, with his actual girlfriend. Yeah,
yeah, but I say yeah, he literally was cheating on her with yeah.
yeah,
But,
yeah.
yeah. So yeah, like maybe all that stuff's just impacting him. Maybe he's tired of people calling him fat and it's just getting to him. I don't know, but um, this Zion Williamson and this New Orleans Pelicans team has a first round ceiling at best, in my opinion. What do you think about that?
Well, I mean, we know that Zion's got another level or two, so maybe the juices are flowing. If they get into the playoffs, he's
He just
dominating.
turns it on.
Yeah. Well, I don't
Yeah,
know,
okay.
but I feel like they really got to make some strides this season, like playoff wise, and like actually winning something.
Yeah, I agree.
Big trade last week.
Yeah, man. OG Anunoby got traded to the New York Knicks for RJ. They gave him RJ Barrett already, not RJ Barrett, and they also got Emmanuel Quickly. How long have we been saying that RJ Barrett is a bum on the pod? Like I'm okay. He's not a bum. Actually, he's a bum. RJ Barrett is a fucking bum.
He's a good player. He's not. I never thought he was going to be a star. I just never thought he was going to be what he thinks he is. Man.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I thought his ceiling was like a Rudy Gay, like at best. Which that's a good player. Laughing, but that's a good player.
Rudy Gay was better. Give me Rudy Gay. What are you talking about?
I said his ceiling. I'm not saying
his ceiling.
Okay.
Now. Yeah. Okay.
Like a Rudy Gay or like a Warriors 22 Andrew Wiggins or something. Just 18 and 6 on some decent defense type stuff. I don't know.
I don't know about that. I was never on RJ Barrett. I do think that the Knicks are smart for trading him away. Honestly, it sucked to lose Emmanuel Quickly too in that deal because I thought that he's a really good guard. But now he has a chance to shine in Toronto as a starting point guard. And
he's
now
trying to get like $30 million a year. They couldn't afford it, especially because they have Brunson already.
Okay. And now they've got OG Anunoby in New York. They've played a few games, and it looks like he fits right in.
Amazingly, yeah.
Like Tom Thibodeau is nuts. Like in the first game, he literally played 40 minutes. Like Tom Thibodeau just doesn't care, bro.
Okay, bring it back, man. That's how I want. Like bring it back to Kobe, Iverson, T-Mac. When we were growing up, all our stars played 40 minutes a game. Like I used to be running out there 45 minutes a game. That's what I'm going to see, man. Bring it back. This load manager bullshit. Ain't nobody try to see stars playing 32 minutes a game. Get your ass out there.
That's crazy, bro. No, don't listen to him. Don't do that. That's
Come on, man.
That's why you niggas only playing 11 years instead of 20. Like, what the
heck? You're probably right, but yeah.
Running out there 45 minutes a game. Like, oh man, Tom Thibodeau, he does not care. They brought Taj Gibson back off the couch, which is hilarious. But look, the Knicks are what I'm trying to say. The Knicks are like trending upward right now. Like they've beaten some really good teams. They just like beat the shit out of the Sixers at home with Embiid. Yeah. Julius Randle is bounced back from his all-time horrid start. Jalen Brunson is just looking like I mean, he can't have first team all NBA because there's Shea, there's Luka, there's Tyrese Halliburton. But I mean, damn, like he's close, man. Jalen Brunson is amazing. He's going to be an all-star this year. What do you think about the Knicks? What have you seen from them?
They're one piece away, I feel like, to really being like in that contention.
It sucks that they lost Mitchell Robinson, man. Because I think low key, if they would have had Mitchell Robinson, they might have been able to do something with like the Bucks and the Sixers. Now the Celtics, that's a different story, but they might have been able to do something with the Bucks and the Sixers if Mitchell Robinson was healthy.
Yeah, it's almost like they're trying to be kind of like the mid 2000s Pistons, where it's just like the starting five is just, everybody fits together seamlessly and has, perfect roles for what they're able to do. And yeah, they just need. I mean, the Hartenstein is playing pretty good for them.
He is, yeah.
But yeah, that's kind of what they need. It's like either. I mean, if Randall could continue playing how he is, I think that's great. But okay, if that's going to be how it is, then yeah, so like a 5, kind of like a Miles Turner or something. That'd be good for them, I think. I don't know, but yeah, I feel like they're just. I don't know what it is, but if that's the route they're going to go with, like 5 great players, is probably need another center. But if they could also try to swing for like a star around Brunson and Anunoby, I don't know what you do at Randall. Like he could be a part of it, but he doesn't have to be. I feel like Brunson and Anunoby are the guys that they should keep and try to build around. But they got something cooking, man. I like what they're doing. They're not like, because the Knicks for like all my life have just been like trading all their assets for old stars or like guys that had one good season, and they expect them to, you know, be a star for the Knicks, like Eddie Curry or whatever. He had one good year, and now Isaiah Thomas gave him like max money.
Tyson
You know,
Chandler.
yeah, exactly. I mean, even like Melo was not a good move because they traded everything for him, and now they didn't have a team for him to develop with. I don't know. So I feel like their front office is doing it right. They still have all their assets. They still have most of their draft picks. So if I was a Knicks fan, I'd be happy because they're also like relatively young, and then not they have a lot of upward mobility. I just like everything they're doing right now.
Yeah. Another team that we probably don't like everything that they're doing, those sons of bitches, the Boston Celtics. They are currently undefeated at home. They got the best record in the NBA. They're pretty much as advertised. I mean, we knew that they were going to be great right out the gate, and damn, are they? 17-0 at home is ridiculous. I'm pretty sure that ties an all-time start for the Celtics. And yeah, they're like
They're
best team in the
starting.
league.
They're like starting five. Like damn, to be the All Star team if they wanted to. Like they're just they fit too well. Um, Derek White, I never thought he was. I never knew he was this good. Like I know Boston fans, Spurs fans, the guys who like really watched them closely. They were trying to hype him up, but I didn't think he was all that. But apparently he is. Sometimes he'd be taking like 20 plus shots a game and doing really well with that. So I'm like, wow.
Yeah.
So basically swap Marcus Smart for him for like a better Marcus Smart. And Drew Holiday, actually a better Marcus Smart for real. And he doesn't even really shoot. And, like he barely scored. He's just all in on being a role player and playing good defense and a connector. Amazing.
Yep.
And then Jaylen Brown, he's taking a little bit less shots, but he's still effective. They're doing just fine with if he or Jason Tatum misses a game because they just got so much talent. I mean, Porzingis has been like everything for them, and he's been relatively healthy.
Yep.
That's just and then Tatum's having a fantastic year too. I mean, he's kind of just been like a pretty consistently like the last 4 or 5 years, just kind of like 25, 26 a game. Good shooting. Like he's kind of just he hasn't really. I mean, is there like more levels to his game? I don't know. He's kind of just like he's fine exactly where he is. I mean, he's like top 5 to top 10. He can win a championship with him as your best player. He's yeah. I mean, I don't know. Like they really don't have any more excuses, man. It's kind of like everything is set up for them to win. So even their contenders in the East aren't really that. They have a lot of flaws. It's really just the Celtics and the Nuggets are probably like the only teams that like going into this right now are like completely happy where they are and feel like they probably got enough to win a championship.
Yeah, that's pretty much where I ended at with this Celtics team. There's no excuses. You've got to get it done this year, whether you face the Nuggets or the Clippers or whoever it may be, or the Lakers. You've got to get it done, and this is the best team they're gonna have. This is the best chance they're gonna have. Hopefully, everyone can remain healthy, and yeah, man. I mean, it's right now. It's the Celtics' title to lose at this point. I mean, they're good, man, and they're not just beating like the Pistons and whoever else is trash. Like they're beating good teams handily. So shout out to the Celtics, you stinking bitches.
They're still undefeated at home.
17-0 at home. 17-0.
Yeah, that's tough if they're going to have home court advantage through the playoffs.
Let's talk about the Milwaukee Bucks.
Hold on, one more minute.
Okay.
For the Raptors, how do you feel about them? What are they doing right now? Are they just going young, blowing it up? A little overdue for that, but
yeah,
they let Kyle Lowry walk, let Fran VanVleet walk. Now they're trading some guys away.
It's interesting because I feel like we've had this conversation since like the bubble about the Raptors. Like pretty much after they won a championship, we were just like, what are they doing? Yeah. Pascal Siakam has bloomed, and honestly, I think they are going to trade him before the trade deadline. I think them trading OG Anunoby a week ago was kind of like the sign that like, all right, it's time to like start over. They've got some pieces. Like I wouldn't mind like a Chris Boucher or a Jakob Poeltl, or Pascal Siakam, whatever you want to do. I wouldn't mind some of the guys that they have. Even like I was going to call him Garrett Temple. What's their shooter? I can't never remember his fucking name.
Trent Jr. Gary Trent Jr.
Gary Trent Jr. I mean, this Raptors team can't like do anything in the postseason seriously. So yeah, blow it up. But then again, these teams don't think like the Lakers. Like these teams are like, oh, we're getting the playoffs. We had a great year. So whatever.
Yeah.
To that end, real quick, caw the Hawks. What the fuck? What are they?
I don't know what's going on with the Hawks. I don't know. It's just not working. Whatever they're trying to do is just not working.
Yeah, it isn't. It isn't. Is that Trae Young's fault? Because he started the season pretty bad too, but in the past month, I remember in December, I think he averaged like 30 and 12 on decent efficiency for him.
He's picked it up. Yeah.
Yeah. But I mean, they're still 6 games below 500. I mean, they're the 11th seed, but I guess they're only a half game out of the play-in, so anything can happen. I don't know.
I'm so disappointed in DeAndre Hunter.
Yeah, man.
I
Well,
thought
think
I
he's
thought he
hurt.
would take that next step by now. Yeah, I think he is hurt right now, but he's always hurt. He gets hurt every year, and he just hasn't taken that next step. He was like a number 4 pick for them, I think, right?
Something like that, yeah. But while we're talking about the Hawks, let me give a shout out to Jalen Johnson, who's their starting 3 right now. This kid, low key, man. I think he might have all-star potential. He has a really good jumper. He's crazy athletic. He's
Athletic,
really
yeah.
good defensively. He rebounds really well for his size. And I don't know, like they may have found something with this Jalen Johnson kid. If he can ever get like a go-to move to where you can just give him the ball and he can get a bucket, yeah, the Hawks might have something with him. But
He's a second
yeah,
year, right? I remember liking him in
yeah,
summer league one of those years. Okay.
yeah.
Yeah.
So shout out to Jalen Johnson. Let's talk about the Milwaukee Bucks real quick, though, man. They are quietly the second seed in the East, 25 and 11. They've won a few games here and there, but I still think
Giannis
people are
carry
kind of,
jobs.
yeah. I mean, Giannis, especially in this past like 3 weeks, he's just been like, he's like, okay, just get the fuck out the way, like get out of my way, like just let me do what I do. But Dame Lillard still hasn't looked great. I mean, he's averaging 25, but I mean, look, I didn't expect him to come in and average 30, but I didn't expect him to look like a pedestrian or
Yeah,
like another
he
guy out
struggles
there.
out there more than I thought. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
He's not shooting. Like, let me look at his percentage. I feel like he's shooting like shit every time I see.
Yeah, I mean,
Uh,
I know his last game he did not shoot well.
he's shooting 43% from the field and 35% from 3. So
Okay.
that's just below his standards. And I don't know, like the vibes don't like he's not playing any defense, and he just doesn't
Yeah.
look like he's interested in really going hard right now. I don't know. I know he didn't want to be there, but he's got a pretty good opportunity here.
Well, I think, and this is something that Giannis has called out with Adrian Griffin, and it's weird. Like they've had a few public spats, and I'm not sure why, but anyway, I feel like this starting lineup of Dame Lillard and Malik Beasley, they've kind of got to look at it and be like, okay, like we're getting killed defensively. Like it's basically like starting D'Lo and Austin Reeves. Like we're like they are killing us
Ooh,
defensively.
yeah.
Yeah, like it's just straight food. I mean, so in this last game they played, they actually benched Malik Beasley. Um,
You know that
so
motherfucker shooting like 47% from 3.
I know.
He couldn't hit nothing with the
He
Lakers.
could
Oh
he
my
couldn't
god,
hit nothing, man. Yeah,
the
it's a
Lakers curse is
curse.
real, man.
It's
Yeah.
real. It's real. Yeah, Malik Beasley having like a career year, by the way. Yeah, it's just disgusting. Uh, Joel Embiid and the Philadelphia 76ers. I mean, talk about another guy who, before he rolled his ankle a week or two ago, was averaging like 35 plus, not even playing fourth quarters, dropping 40 and 50. Albeit it was on like the Hornets and,
Yeah, they
you know,
absolutely stomp bad teams.
but that's what you're supposed to do. Like I mean, you're supposed to kick those teams' ass, and that's what they were doing. So it looks like Joel Embiid is in line to get another MVP if he keeps this up. They're currently third in the East. Tyrese Maxey, man, I can't say enough about the kid, man. He's great. He's taken an incredible leap this year, and I expect him to make an All-Star team this year as a lock. And Tobias Harris still stinks. I don't trust his team
He
in the
just got
playoffs.
hurt,
If I'm
didn't he?
being really honest. Yeah, he did. But before that, he was terrible. I still don't trust this team in the playoffs. I mean, depending on matchups, I wouldn't be surprised if they get bounced in the first or second
That was my
round. But
question actually. How do you feel about their playoff ceiling? Because I'm sure they're having fun right now. Embiid probably won the back-to-back MVP, which is great, scoring title. what's gonna be like his third scoring title? Like, man, so
Probably.
is he like is he better than Shaq like at scoring the ball? I'm not just like as a player, but like
No,
okay, well,
no, no. I don't think so. No, I
Shaq couldn't
mean,
shoot threes or free throws, but he just an automatic bucket. Yeah,
yeah. I mean, look, Shaq averaged 20, or he averaged what, 30 points a game in 2000 when like everybody had like 3 7-footers. They
yeah.
were fouling the shit out of him. Like, I feel like it was way harder to score 30 points back then than it is now, especially with the rule changes and
I said the
all
game was
that.
different. You couldn't zone back then, so you had to basically guard Shaq 1-on-1 or commit
Or
to a
double
double
them.
team immediately.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Mhm. And he was still dropping 30 and 40 in like in the playoffs and the finals. Like, give me Shaq. Give me Shaq. I know you don't mean like as a player, but if you're talking about who
just as a
scores
talent.
better,
Yeah, yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
just
Just like yeah,
Shaq.
ability. Yeah.
Get Shaq. That's just my
Mhm.
opinion. But look, I
Well, all that
mean,
to say, like Embiid is like, I think it's arguably like the most talented. Well, him and Jokic at this point, the most talented centers I think I've ever seen. Like what they can do on the court on all
yeah.
aspects of the game is just unbelievable. But so I absolutely love watching this guy, man. But for one, he's got to be healthy in the playoffs. He always gets hurt in the playoffs, like Chris Paul. And do they have enough? I don't know. So I feel like once you get back to back MVPs, like you're in rarefied air, you need to win a championship. So now if he wins his MVP, he's going to be officially like on Jokic status, where it's okay. Well, what next? You got to win a championship. I don't care about anything else you do anymore. So
I agree.
I hope they get it together because I do. I root for Joe Embiid. We've been rooting for this guy since he was a rookie. Like we thought he was just that dude right off the gate, and he proved us right. So hopefully he can continue that, and or he gets fed up and want to come to the Lakers. So whatever.
Win-win. Let's talk about Tyrese Halliburton and the Indiana Pacers really quick, man. Talk about a guy having a breakout year. I
He putting
think
some
he's
wild stat lines up.
Yeah. I mean, 20 and 20, which is
Yeah,
just it's just
it's like every
nuts.
other night is 15 plus assists. I'm like, how is he still averaging like 13 assists?
Yeah, man. The Pacers, they're so fun to watch because they have so many guys, and I really got to give credit to Rick Carlisle. Like they remind me of that 2011 Mavs team where they were just kicking our ass, sharing the ball. I mean, Dirk was still dropping 30 on the shore, but they had JJ Barea and Shawn Marion and Tyson Chandler and Jason Kidd, and everybody else was Jason Terry. Everybody else was killing us too. Like, that's pretty much what it is for this Indiana Pacers team. Like, you still got to worry about fucking Andrew Nimhard and Miles Turner, Buddy Hield, and who's the rookie? Benedict Mathurin. Like, they got so many guys that can just drill you with all these threes or layups. Like, it's just hard. Like, these dudes have scored 150 points
I was about to say
5 times.
their defense is shit, but they're gonna score 150 on you.
Yeah, like that's ridiculous, man. And then Tyrese Halliburton himself, like this kid, man, he's just he's just doing whatever he wants out there. Like, I really feel like teams have a problem because like you can't really like hard double him, because if you do, he's just gonna give it to Buddy Hield for another. Like, do you want Buddy Hield shooting open threes when he shoots 47%? Or like if you play him 1-on-1, he's just gonna blow by you, or he's gonna shoot his little step back three, which is so ugly, but it's money.
If he throwing
Uh,
people off, how ugly it is. I don't know
yeah,
if they gonna
like,
make it.
and he has like crazy range. Like, he has like Steph Curry range. So I mean, look, the Pacers are a problem. I mean, obviously the playoffs are going to be a different story, and we'll see if those
Yeah.
guys can make those shots in the playoffs when the lights are brighter. But right now in the regular season, man, everybody's having fun. I love it, man. What do you think?
I can't help stop thinking about how the Lakers shut them down in the in-season tournament final. Like a team
Yeah,
that's just, I think they got the best offense in the league right now, right?
yeah.
Or something somewhere
As far
close.
as like
And
rating, yeah,
yeah, yeah, offensive rating, scoring 130, 140, 150 every other night. And I think the Lakers almost kept them under 100 points, right? Or at least under 110, something like that.
something like
So,
that, yeah.
um, I don't know, I shouldn't bring the Lakers up in this context, but I just can't stop thinking about that. But maybe that's a little concerning for the Pacers about when in the playoffs when teams actually focus in on their tendencies and what they're trying to do. You're not going to be playing as free and getting all those open shots. So maybe that was a learning experience for them
hmm
because I don't think either of those guys have real playoff experience. Maybe Miles Turner.
Miles Turner does, yeah, but that's it.
But so they're a young team, and they'll be happy to just what they like 6 seed now. They'll be happy to lock in a spot and make some noise.
Yeah, I agree. Real quick before we talk about the Orlando Magic, I do want to talk about the Detroit Pistons. They snapped their what was it 28 games, 27 games,
28, yeah, and they only
28
they only
games.
lost because after the Raptors traded, they made a trade, and then they basically used that as an excuse to not play hard and
Mhm.
lost that game. Yeah.
Yeah, shout out to the Pistons for making history. You had the longest losing streak ever. Holy crap! Um, but you know what? I'll tell you what. I've never been more excited and more in tune to watch the goddamn Detroit Pistons than when they were on this little losing streak. It was fun, like just to see like they played the Celtics like a week and a half ago,
Yeah.
or sorry, like a week and a half before they won, and like it went to overtime. Like they were playing so hard, like Kate
The Celtics
Cunningham,
were playing hard too. There's like no,
yeah,
like,
and it was like never.
and it was at home. It was in Boston too.
Yeah,
That
it
would
was
have been
in
funny if they
Boston.
would have been
Yeah,
the one team to beat them.
yeah, man. It was so funny. It was so funny. But look, man, I like the Pistons to an extent. Like I think Cade, like I said, is a star. Killian Hayes fucking sucks. Like I don't get how he's still in the league. They got to get rid of this guy. But
Who's that dude like
and
Liverpool or something like that?
oh, Isaiah Livers,
Liver
he's a
that
shooter.
that dude- no, he ain't. I must that dude is garbage, bro. Like whenever it's like who are these dudes they throwing out here, man? Alec Burks, he just be throwing the ball over the place and doing crazy stuff. I don't know.
I like Jalen Duran from the Pistons too, but yeah.
Yeah, he's about the only other guy. Him and Cade about the only ones worth. Well, and Bojan.
Yeah. Trade him, Lakers. All right, and then last thing we'll talk about is the Orlando Magic. Orlando Magic, um, they're retiring Shaq's jersey, but who cares about that? The Orlando Magic are good. I mean, breaking news, like they're 20-15. They beat the Nuggets the other day in overtime. Paolo Banchero is just he's raised the level. First of all, averaging 20 points as a rookie is just nuts. I'm pretty sure nobody's done this since Allen Iverson. But the fact that you're even
No,
better now, what?
Luka did that.
Luka didn't average 20 as a rookie, did he?
I'm pretty sure it was.
Well, why you look that up? Um, even getting better is just great. Franz Wagner has also taken his game to another level, and Pat Bev challenged these guys before the season started because
21, 22.
ESPN 20 okay because ESPN had both of them in the top 50 of like their player rank this year, and he was like, okay, well they shouldn't be terrible this year then, and they're not. They're actually really good. They're getting really great play out of guys like Jalen Suggs and Cole Anthony. Um, Even Wendell Carter Jr. is playing solid for them when he's been healthy. Mo Wagner, like this Magic team is good. Do I think that they're gonna like beat any team in the playoffs? Probably not. Same with the OKC. They're young, they're raw, they're playing on just talent right now. But I'm happy for Orlando. Like if you talk about a franchise that's pretty much been in the gutter for my entire lifetime, it's been the Orlando Magic. Aside from those Dwight years, which was 8 years.
Who would you
So
say is their best player, Franz or Paulo?
it's Paolo. It's Paolo. I think Franz is like their playmaker slash guy that like they like. Franz might be the more important guy, but Paolo's their best player. Like I don't think there's like a real conversation to be had. That's just my opinion.
Oh, okay. Yeah, man. Well, I guess the difference between them and OKC is, they've got Shea Gilgeous, who's like a top 5 player. So I don't
Yeah.
know if Paolo is even sniffing top 20, top 30 yet, but they've got a lot of good players, similar to OKC. I see what you're saying, but yeah, man. Orlando, they have. I mean, outside of the Vooch years when they were just kind of making the 8 seed, getting stomped by the Bucks, they haven't really done shit since the Dwight Howard years. So it's good, man. They got some talent bubbling in. They could actually be a problem in the next few years. So I do like their team, though. I still feel
Yep.
like Fultz has been injured, right? And
Yeah.
who is their point guard?
It's Jalen Suggs.
Suggs.
Yeah.
He's more of a defensive guy, I feel like.
Yeah, but I mean he's been knocking stuff down, and they've got Cole Anthony off the bench, who's been really good for them off the bench this year.
Yeah.
Surprisingly, I think he's averaging like 15 plus a game, which is
Yeah.
great off the bench. I mean, damn, shout out to Cole Anthony. I thought he was going to be out the league in in a few
Yeah,
years.
I was not liking his trajectory the last few years, but yeah, shout out to him. He's playing really well off the bench, knowing his role and accepting that. Yeah.
Yep. All right, man. Look, great pod. We got another one in the bucks, in the can. Hopefully, we can discuss again once the Lakers make a trade or they fire Darvingham, because we have to discuss that. So
What
I
the
guess
Lakers going like a 9-game losing streak or something? It's a
is
chance we
that
could
what it's
get
going to
buried,
take?
man.
Is that what it's going to take for us to fire Darvingham and make a
Well,
trade?
the
Like,
trading deadline's not until like a month away, and
yeah, February
you know,
10th,
for
I
what
believe.
we have, I feel like we might be up against the deadline because teams gonna feel like they could get something better until it's near the buzzer. So we might just be stuck with what we have roster wise for like the next month. And Jeannie's kind of cheap, man. She ain't trying to pay Darvingham his salary and then hire another coach. Um,
She
if
should.
history's told us anything, like she doesn't like to do that. So I don't know, man. I'm batting down the hatches. I think it might be a rough winter for the Lakers.
We'll see. Got the Clippers tonight as we record. Hopefully, we can beat them. We're not.
Over and under 20 or 30 point margin. 20-point margin. Over under.
Over 20 for sure. I'm expecting us to get like by the end of the first quarter, it's gonna be over. Like
You would actually bet money the Lakers get blown out tonight.
yes, I actually might do that. Like
I'm gonna do that right now. Actually,
yeah, like, I'm probably gonna do that. Yeah. Oh man,
good stuff, bro.
All right.